In this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of learning how to say no and why it's so important to have clear boundaries to decide what interests you're going to focus on and what interests, for now, you're not going to focus on. Hey, it's Filip from Habit Bootcamps, and in this video I'm going to talk about the importance of learning how to say no. Nowadays, we live in an age where there is the paradox of choice. We have so many choices, directions we could go in, or interests, that it can be pretty hard to pick some and not do others. We can have analysis paralysis by trying too many habits, too many interests, and taking on too many tasks. We find it hard to decide which things we're going to focus on and which options we are going to leave out. So what happens is that we're doing too many things at the same time and we're saying yes to tasks and interests too many times. I've been there myself. I love self-development and I'm interested in Thai massage, in cold showers, in intermittent fasting, in setting new habits, goals, improving my productivity, changing my eating habits, and the list goes on. There's so many things that I'm interested in and I would love to learn more about because I have a very curious nature. But what happens is when you spread your attention and you focus so wide, you're really not getting anywhere. And when we are taking on too many tasks at the same time, the load becomes too heavy and we just can't continue because we are all over the place doing everything and achieving nothing. So what is happening is that you're focusing on the superficial level and you're focusing on breadth, but you're not focusing on depth. The more time you spend on something specific, the more you can develop a skill and become a master in it. Productivity is all about setting boundaries, making decisions, picking priorities, and having bright lines. I'm going to put my focus on this. This is where I'm going to place my attention, put in a lot of time, put in a lot of work, put in a lot of effort, and finally achieve the results because we dedicated ourselves to something specific. To make a comparison, if you're going to do something 2 hours a day for 5 years, you have mastered that task, that habit, that skill 3,600 hours. If you're going to do 6 tasks, 20 minutes a day, that means that you mastered that task 600 hours. That's a huge difference between practicing something 3,600 hours or practicing something 600 hours. You will achieve a lot more in less time when you narrow your focus and attention on something specific and dedicate yourself to it. But what happens a lot of times is that we're interested in something for a while, then we're not excited anymore, or something else catches our attention, and we hop on to the next thing. Never really mastering or practicing something to really become good at it. Be it a habit, be it a skill, be it something that you need for your work or your career. So I'm going to give you an amazing sentence to say to yourself and to others. When people ask you things to do or you decide to take on a new interest or new direction, you have to decide what you're going to focus on. So an important sentence to learn is interesting but not now. It means, yeah, I'm very curious about it, but I can't take on any more at this moment. I'm really practicing this specific thing. This is my main focus. This is the thing I'm going to pay the most attention to. If you still have some interest, later in the day, maybe you can do it, but for the moment, it's not your priority. Oftentimes, people who have difficulty saying no or people who are interested in too many things, they're very high in openness to experience in the Big 5 personality test, or they are people who are people pleasers. They never learned how to say no. They feel that other people will be disappointed or they will be disappointed in themselves when they say no. But the irony is that people will become disappointed in them, not because they would have said no, but because they have said yes and they can't keep their promises. You become disappointed in yourself. When you're going to have clear boundaries, you learn how to say interesting but not now. You can live up to your promises. People know and you will know you can keep your word because productivity is about doing what you said you would do in the time you said you would do it. It creates disappointment when we take on too much and we can't handle it anymore. We never have that incremental success experiences that we feel confident because we take on too much or we say yes to things that we should say no to. So it's important to learn how to say interesting but not now. Notice the but now. You can always pick it up later when you revise and say, now I can take it on, or now I will indulge myself in a new interest. But at the moment, you're gonna have a clear boundary, a bright line, and say, no, I'm not gonna let this in. Because you're gonna disperse your attention all over the place. You can take a looking glass and really center the rays of the sun, and you can burn a piece of paper, or your whole attention span can be so spread out that you never really get that fire, get that momentum going. So you want to learn how to say no. The prompter the refusal, the less the disappointment. You know that you can live up to what you promised yourself, and you will have integrity. There will be in harmony between what you say you will do and what you actually practice and do. You will respect yourself more, and other people will also respect yourself more when they know they can count on you and you can count on yourself. You know you can really honor your commitments. You practice what you preach. Instead of becoming a jack of all trades or a jackass of all trades, you're becoming a master. You really mastered the skill that you can use in your life, in your relationships, or in your job or career. And that is useful because that is something that you can use your whole life. It's about the success experiences, feeling that you're developing something and really getting better at it. Because if we're hopping from interest to interest, always following our curiosity, we really get nowhere. Because we're constantly looking for new things to indulge in, and then we're wondering, what is our purpose? What is my passion? What is my skill? Well, developing a skill takes time. If you're going to practice too many things at the same time, or only going to practice things for a short period, you will never really get something that lasts a long while. Don't overload yourself by trying to do too many things in self-development that you're interested in. You will be overwhelmed, you will be exhausted, and none of these skills, tasks, or habits will actually stick. And we are building habits to make them stick. Not just for a short while when you're motivated and when we're interested in something and then we drop them. No, it's because we know that we need it and we want to integrate it. And to integrate something, it takes a lot of focus and repetitions. So say to yourself and others, interesting, but not now. Have clear boundaries, have bright lines, and be transparent. Communicate in an honest way. Look at the things that you're going to say yes to and other things you're going to say no to. Productivity is as much about the things you do as the things that you don't do. For the moment, for now. In the future, when you can take on more or want to take on a new interest, you can always decide to do it. But start practicing the interesting but not now. Choose your direction, choose your skill, narrow your focus, and really stick with it and pick your priorities. You will be able to do much more in less time, and that is what productivity is all about. Hey, it's Phil, and if you like my channel, don't forget to subscribe and check out some more videos about how to overcome procrastination and laziness and do more in less time.